So with the animation control set to render time, let's just jump into the render tree and take a look at what we can do here. So basically what we can do is drive different values into the frame parameter, the particle sprite, to modulate how we go through the sequence. So for example, if we go into the particle menu here, we've got different things we can use. We've got a get color node, get scalar, get vector, and these basically output different values that we can pull from and use to drive the actual image sequence. So one of the more useful ones is the particle scalar node. And if we look inside of it, what we can output is things like the particle ID, the particle radius, different things like the rotation angle and speed, pressure, density, age, a lot of really useful data. So what we want to do is output the age, and this is just basically a simple scenario, and use that to drive the frame parameter. So now what we've essentially done is link the particle age to the actual sequence animation. So if we step through here, you can basically see we're getting the same result as we had when we just set the animation control to particle age percentage. So as we go up here, we can see the particles aging as they get closer to their the end of their life, and they start recycling there at the end. But the neat thing is, once we've actually gone into the render tree, we can manipulate that data to kind of do things that we can't do through the default kind of particle type options. So what we can do, say we want to actually double the rate at which we go through the sequence. What I can do is just get a scalar math basic node, and we can plug the particle scalar input into input 1. And we simply want to multiply that value, the particle age, by 2. So we'll just set input 2 to 2, and we'll set the operation to multiply. Pretty straightforward, and then plug that into the frame parameter. And now if we step forward here, you can see we're going through the particles, the actual image sequence. It's at a much faster rate. So basically twice as fast there. Just to give you another quick example, let's take the particle scalar node and plug that directly back into the frame input. And let's set this to radius. So now we're going to pull the actual radius of the particles to determine what image sequence we're using. So you can see, because the radius is the same for all the particles, we use the same image sequence. If we just go into the p-type now and say we animate that size over time, now let's go back here. You can see as we cycle and the particles actually get bigger, we're actually using different image sequences. So there's a whole lot of stuff you can experiment with there. It's probably a good idea to check out the render tree section on the rendering DVD to kind of explore that area some more. But that was just a kind of a quick primer to get you started into how you can actually manipulate the image sequence for particles.